Instead, repay with a blessing, for you were called, course, so that you might inherit a blessing. For whoever would love life and see good days must guard his tongue from bad and his lips from speaking deception. Let him turn away from what is bad and do what is good. Let him seek peace and pursue it. For the eyes of Jehovah are on the righteous, and his ears listen to their supplication, but the face of Jehovah is against those doing bad things. Indeed, who will harm you if you become jealous for what is good? But even if you should suffer for the sake of righteousness, you are happy. However, he's ready to make a defense before everyone who did and deep respect. Maintain a good conscience, so that to shame because of your followers of Christ. For it is better to suffer because you are doing good, if it is God's will to allow it, than because you are doing evil. For Christ died once for all time for sins, a righteous person for unrighteous ones, in order to lead you to God. He was put to death in the flesh, but made alive in the spirit. And in this state, he went and preached to the spirits in prison, who had formerly been disobedient when God was patiently waiting Noah's day, while the ark was being constructed, in which a few people, that is, 8 souls, were carried safely through the water. Baptism, which corresponds to this, is also now saving you, not by the removing of the filth of the flesh, but by the request to God for a good conscience, through the resurrection of Jesus Christ. He is at God's right hand, for he went to heaven, and angels and authorities and powers were made subject to him. Chapter 4. Since Christ suffered in the flesh, you too arm yourselves with the same mental disposition, because the person who has suffered in the flesh has desisted from sins, so that he may live the remainder of his time in the flesh, no more for the desires of men, but for God's will. The time that has passed by is sufficient for you to have done the will of the nations, when you carried on in acts of brazen conduct, unbridled passions, over drinking, wild parties, drinking bouts, and lawless idolatry. Instead that each one has received a gift, use it in ministry. If anyone ministers, on the strength that God supplies, so that in all may be may be glorified through Jesus Christ. The glory and the might are his forever and ever. Amen. Loved ones, do not be surprised about the fiery trials that you are experiencing, as though something strange were happening to you. On the contrary, go on rejoicing over the extent to which you are sharers in the sufferings of the Christ, a wrongdoer, or a busybody in other people's matters. But if anyone suffers as a Christian, him keep on glorifying God. Well, for it is the appointed time for the judgment to start. Now, if it starts first with us, into the good news of God. And if the righteous man is being saved with difficulty, what will happen to the ungodly man and the sinner? Chapter 5. Of the sufferings of the Christ is to be revealed under compulsion, but willingly before God, not for love of dishonest gain, but eagerly, not lording over those who are God's inheritance, but becoming examples. And when the chief shepherd has you will receive the unfading crown of glory, you younger men, be in subjection to the older men. But all of you, clothe yourselves with humility toward one another, because God opposes the haughty ones, but he gives undeserved kindness to the humble ones. Humble yourselves, therefore, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, so that he may exalt you in due time, while you throw all your anxiety on him, because he cares for you. Keep your senses. Be watchful.
Hello.
Your adversary, the devil, walks about like a roaring lion, seeking to devour someone. But take your stand against him, firm in the faith, knowing that the same kind of suffering.
Hello, welcome. My doing live and Christian message in Bible verse. And please